What is up, guys? It's your sticky friend Cemtex here. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. And wow, first time using webcam. Hopefully you find my 480p quality, my lackluster background to be relatable. This isn't even a mic, it's literally a whisk. Mic's, that big glowing red thing right next to me, but let's pretend. I'm also wearing a headset, I'm literally listening to nothing, so. Today's topic, we're gonna talk a little bit about nostalgia. Nostalgia is a really weird thing. It can kind of make you feel like sad but happy at the same time, remembering that all your good days are behind you. Knowing nothing's gonna get better ahead of you. It's gonna be a downward spiral. This is like cry for help. I feel weird not wearing a headset. One of the most nostalgic things for me are video games. I was a gamer straight out of the womb. I feel like I have a very powerful memory, and I can think back to all the games I used to play as a child. But I thought we'd look back at some of the games I played as a child, see if anyone else had the same childhood as me. Now, the first main game that came to mind that I really want to talk about is called Tak and the Great Juju Challenge. It's funny, because back when you played games, you thought, wow, these graphics are brilliant, and then you look back on it and you're like, oh, I was literally playing a fucking potato, I don't know how you could see. I can't talk shit, my webcam looks about the same. One of the best things about this game is Patrick Warburton's voice acting.
These new abilities are really great and everything, but...
Cannonball! Sorry, I just thought if you were gonna talk, maybe I could just... Hey, there's that Phoenix!
You might know him as Joe from Family Guy. Might know him from Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. Poison for Cusco. Cusco, poison. I love his work, and this is no exception. This game was kind of combat/puzzle-ish. I don't want to spend too long on each game because I do have a good list of games I want to get through. And if this goes well, I can do a part 2 because I have a lot more I want to talk about. But one of the biggest memories I have of this game is playing this with my sister on the PlayStation 2. And the best thing about all my PlayStation 2 games is I didn't have a good enough memory card, so I couldn't fucking save. I was replaying the same parts over and over and over every morning when I wake up. Literally sitting there pissing my diaper replaying the same dialogue I can probably quote with my eyes closed. What do my eyes closed have to do with it? Now, there's two people you can play as. You can play as Tak, or you can play as Locke. They have different strengths. Locke literally having strength, being able to carry Tak all over the place, throw him up places, but me having main character energy. I play Tak. Tak's kind of the leader, kind of goofy, and Locke is his, his not-so-bright sidekick. But since I do have the main character energy, my sister had to play the second character, meaning she would just keep picking me up and throwing me off the fucking map. We'd get in actual fights. I would want to lacerate her, because she kept picking me up and throwing me off the map.
And she thought that shit was really funny.
I have this weird memory of riding around on a rhinoceros, which I do believe was a thing. I'm going to put gameplay over here, obviously. Now, the next game I had really fond memories of, but I went back and watched gameplay of it, and it actually is very lackluster. That's my word of the week, by the way. I just keep saying lackluster for no reason, even if it doesn't fit in the context. But I feel like I actually used it right this time, but don't at me. That game being Finding Nemo, the video game. The gameplay I saw, it's really just swimming around, going through these circles that they want you to go through to progress through the story. And you gotta hit like all 70 of them to, 100% that level or whatever. And it's animated pretty funny because it's a PS2 game. But I don't know why, I had a really fond memory of playing this, playing it constant. And I keep hearing that little bitch, "Aw, you made me ink." When she was being freaky, Let's be honest. Not too much to say about that one, but it's one of the games I get great nostalgia from. The next huge one that I have, it's ingrained in my brain, the picture of these little fucking slugs. We'll get to it in a second. It's called like SpongeBob Super Soaker, I probably should look it up. Okay, it's called SpongeBob Super Sponge. And when I tell you these graphics are fucking amazing, I mean it. If someone made a game with this exact art style today, I would still fucking play it and love it. And this game's really stressful because it has this Lego Star Wars kind of thing. If you die in Lego Star Wars, you lose a good amount of the money that you have. But in this game, you're collecting golden spatulas. That's kind of your life force. And if you get hit by an enemy, you lose a plethora of golden spatulas and you have to recollect it before you die, kind of that kind of thing. And the whole time, you're having this weird like Mario kind of thing where you're jumping on snails and dodging squids and collecting jellyfish to throw at the snails and squids. And if you get far enough, you start seeing these fucking gross-ass slugs. They still haunt my dreams to this day, and this game came out in 2001. I was literally 2 years old. I'm not saying I played it on the release, obviously. It was probably not too far away. And the funny thing is, you're doing all this to get ingredients for a birthday party. You're traversing, risking your fucking life to get a birthday gift. I remember dying laughing every time I saw SpongeBob hanging on the edge because he does this weird unbalanced animation. I thought it was the funniest shit ever. The best is yet to come. I'm saving the best for last, don't you worry. But next, we're going to quickly touch on the Fantastic Four for the PlayStation 2. I can't say I remember a lot of this game, but the strongest memory I have is there was a button mash part you had to use to open a door. My little prepubescent fingers weren't fast enough, so I had to ask my mom to do it literally every time. And like I said, I had no fucking memory card, so I couldn't save it. She had to do it on the daily. I just remember being a stretchy guy, stretching out my arms, smacking the shit out of people, being the fire dude, just blasting it up. There's not really too much I want to say about that. I'm gonna rapid fire some of them real quick. I don't want to spend 20 minutes on each game. I'm gonna rapid fire the popular ones. Star Wars Battlefront 2, obviously a lot of people played that. It was fantastic. It was terrifying when you went against the Jedi when you were just a stormtrooper. It was kind of fucked, to be honest. Seeing Yoda fucking hurl his little body at you. You could do nothing. You're just a little roly-poly droid sitting there taking it like a... Obviously, the LEGO Star Wars games, all of them, fantastic. They're still remastering them today, so that's how popular it is. But, you know, my thing is to getting things late, so I will not be playing those for another 2 years. ATV Off-Road Fury for the PlayStation 2 had terrible graphics, but it was fun to just drive around, and I remember having this soundtrack that was like, wow, this is so fucking cool. And I would also play that with my sister. Why am I still using this as a mic? Don't know. But I distinctly remember if you drive far enough into a certain direction, it would just fling you out of the map. And back then, I thought that was the funniest shit. I would just do it I would literally drive around for hours. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, I think it was. It's a typical Need for Speed game, you know, racing. But back then, I have this really vivid memory of if my cousin came over, I'd give him a controller, and I would just be playing by myself, but you could see like an NPC car go by, and I'll be like, wow, look at you go, you're fucking whooping my ass, you're so good. Meanwhile, I'm just fucking lapping this NPC, laughing because he thinks he's playing and doing something, where really, I'm just doing it all. I'm being a selfish fuck. No, admittedly though, I really didn't know how to set up 2 players. I was literally in fucking Pampers. A very huge game for me. Nicktoons Unite. Yeah, Timmy Turner, SpongeBob, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron. And they all had different abilities. You could play along with them. You all have the same goal. It's like the biggest collab ever. I also vividly remember that was the first game I left my PlayStation on all night so I didn't lose progress, because I'm like, you know what? I've done this part so many times, I'm going to see it through. I'm going to leave it on all night. I'm going to come back and I'm going to get further. And then I get further and I have to turn it off anyway. So what the fuck was the point? I'm jumping around with the time period right now. I'm going to do another video that's like maybe more so recent-ish type, like maybe 10 years ago instead of like, you know, 15. But yeah, I also got to mention on the Game Boy Color, my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Crystal. And that's actually what got me into Pokemon. On Game Boy Color, I also played Hamtaro, Hamsters Unite. Is that what it's called? Something like that. And looking back at it for this video, I just got a wave of like... I remember just laying on the couch, playing it. Your goal is to basically go around this whole world and find all these hamsters, and you have to solve puzzles to get to them and interact with them. It was a great game. I would actually replay it if I had the option. Then we had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the PlayStation 2. It's funny because Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of my favorite movies. But at this time, I actually never saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I only played the game. So you could imagine my surprise, wondering how the Oompa Loompas went from orange to having these little black guys chasing me. I distinctly remember chasing a dollar bill like a fucking poor bitch, sliding down hills, throwing snowballs, running around the factory for an hour because I was lost on what to do, solving these puzzles. All these were puzzle games. Maybe that's why I'm so fucking IQ. Y'all are ready for this one. Cat in the Hat. PlayStation 2. You play as the Cat in the Hat, the cartoon version, not the Mike Myers. But that is a video game. I accidentally found that while searching for this. Basically, your goal was, again, it was a scavenger hunt kind of thing to find all the pieces you need to put items together. That's literally all there was to it. A scavenger hunt. But I thought it was so fun. So fuck you. Don't even get me started on Viva Pinata. I would sit there, making a little garden, attracting all these creatures, and then I'd beat the shit out of them with my shovel. But it's justified, right? Because they're just pinatas, they're not real animals? Okay. I'd go out of my way just to beat the shit out of these poor animals and knock them out for no reason. It was so fucked up. There's this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Brawl game for the original Xbox. Not much to say about that. Kind of just a fighting game with the Ninja Turtles and all their characters. I think there's a story mode where you actually... Kind of like the Super Smash Bros. Story mode, where you're just fighting different opponents and it gets harder and harder. That's kind of what this was. Real quick, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a part 2 of this video. You want to get me started on Blue's Clues for the PC. You don't want me to go there. So I sunk hours in there. Yeah, Mijong Towers, ever heard of it? Eating Frenzy, perhaps? Huh? Ring a bell? Alright, for the final spot. My most iconic childhood game. Are you ready? Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. Absolutely fucking masterful. A masterpiece, if you will. This game. Oh, this game was so fun just to swing around the city and just do all this fun shit. There'd be a random thing, oh, this dude stole my purse, and then just go beat the shit out of him. Don't get me started on beating the shit out of people. So for some reason in this game, this distinct memory of being on top of a rooftop fighting people, and for some reason you could beat the shit out of their bodies after you already beat them. Like, an unlimited amount of time. You could just take your day out on it. And so I'd fight people on the roof, and when I knock them out, I'd just keep beating the shit out of them, and then just swing them off the edge, watch them fall. I'm very surprised I'm not a serial killer. yeah, life's all downhill from here. Alright guys, it's been your sticky friend Cemtex, and I'm out of here. Later.